disregard the Constitution, the city attorney Clay Martin aid you.
They sue them to give the black community roles because they were all dirt.
Every Wednesday on
to
YouTube.
give the black community what is called single member voting district. And everybody thinks that the Richardson community still exists because the county somehow fell in love with us and
Moment of clarity podcast with Sylvester Warren. Moment of clarity podcast with Sylvester Warren. Tired of the violence, so we starting a revolution. Kids dying, babies dying in the hood and ruins. Fighting the system, cause we tired of.
What's up? This is your host, Moment of Clarity Production and Media, Sylvester Warren III. So excited to be here. I got a topic matter that I've been dying to discuss. I believe that we cannot succeed without having a plan. There's a guy that has influenced me. His name is Dr. Clark Anderson. He is the author of 5 amazing books that I would suggest anybody and everybody to go and read to really understand what's important for our community and our people. And when I say our community and people, don't misunderstand me that this is something that's about race. This is something that's about economic power. We have to become economic independent and self-sufficient. And this is what I'm promoting. I like to use the analogy that I look at everything like the emergency room is legally designed to do. When you go to the emergency room, or what some people call it triage, what happens is it doesn't matter who I am or who the next person is, whether it's a billionaire or whether or not it's a poor person sitting in the emergency room. The emergency room by law is designed to deal with the person who has the most critical issue first and foremost. So for an example, if somebody in that emergency room was filthy rich and you didn't have one dime to your name, but he had a headache being filthy rich and you had a stab wound, that emergency room job is to take you, because you have the most critical issue, get you stabilized, stop the bleeding, and then hand that rich guy a Tylenol for his headache. And when I look at my community, the first thing I see that needs the most critical help and has the most critical needs happens to be the black community. And I just so happen to be black. If it was any community, I would still be having these same conversations because someone has to speak up for the least of us and the ones that are being neglected the most. In saying that, let me get into my topic matter. I've been talking about this. I follow Dr. Clark Anderson. I believe in him. I think he is one of the most educated black men in America at this time who have great concepts in presenting things that can heal, and a guide for our community that has structure, accountability, and consequences built into it. And we need something to this extent. It is called a new Black Code of Conduct. Let me explain what the new Black Code of Conduct is according to Dr. Clark Anderson. And I'm telling you, we need this in our community. We need this throughout all communities of color. Create an independent economic structure, meaning jobs, service, products, and goods. Dr. Clark Anderson said we must educate our own children, meaning we cannot depend on the public school system to teach our children the things that they need to know about our history, about financial literacy, and many other things. That is not the public school system job. If we think that the school system should do that, then we need to start creating our own schools again in our communities. We need to create our own businesses. With the lack of having our own businesses, we lack the amenities, we lack the resources that would be in close proximity. Having black business owner, not only create business owners in our community, not only does it create service in our community, but it also creates job opportunities. Far too often, it is a fact that people who own business tend to hire people who look like them. Support other black businesses. For far too long, we've not been as supportive of each other as we should. With that, we need to be more intentional. Each child, Dr. Claude Anderson believed, by the age of 12 must know how to create a business, how to own a house, and invest in purposes back into our community. So by the age of 12, which is a very ripe age, one should know the concepts of these type of things. He goes on to say, our adults and children must understand powernomics, meaning grouping our money for investing in our community. We have to do collectively pooling of our resources and money. Learning financial literacy, he goes on to say. Here's a big one. Only electing those who promote our interests. For too often, we're dealing with it now. This is the 2026 election cycle. We're seeing it locally, where we have local elected officials that are trying to run again, and what they're doing is trying to give us crumbs and trying to buy our votes through last-minute improvements. No, you should have been representing our community from the beginning. We must vote people in who will promote our interests first and foremost. It must be black loyalty over white approval. Social and public embarrass anyone who tries to go against our code of conduct, and ostracize those who oppose our interests in political affairs, economic justice, through the means of social media, podcasts, billboards, etc. We must set in place consequences for those who sell out our race. Social and public embarrassment and calling those individuals out is a great place to start, according to Dr. Claude Anderson. He says that we do not shoot, we do not murder, or physically harm our people apart from self-defense. We must fight to keep our community clean and beautiful. That means that we should not leave our community in the hands of one person cleaning it up, such as Linda Ivory. We must help Miss Linda. She should not be picking up trash by herself. Let's get out there and let's be intentional about keeping our community clean. Respect and buy from our own people. Be intentional. Search out to see whether there is someone black you can patronize for things such as hair, shoes, clothes, food, housing, realtors, transportation, medical, builders, etc. Dr. Claude Anderson goes on to say, we as blacks collectively have $1.3 trillion in income, but we spend 98% of that money outside of our race, while other races spend 98% of their income dollars with their own race. We must make it our new goal to spend 98% of our income dollars with our own race. This is not about skin color, but rather economic power. Every race group does this but us. And we come into the last few comments by Dr. Claude Anderson as it relates to the new code of conduct. He goes on to say, we cannot have a community without a sense of togetherness and how to cooperate. Stop allowing ourselves to see ourselves through the lenses of how many of our white counterparts sees us. This will stop the division, destruction, and dysfunction of our people and community. That I wholeheartedly believe, along with everything else that Dr. Claude Anderson says. Divide and conquer is their only tool. We must stop doing their bidding against our own people and community for them. The goal for them is to stop us from ever creating economic freedom and political power. We must do for ourselves because nobody is coming to rescue us out of our dilemma. We must be fearless and relentless in doing so. Make sure our community have the programs and activities our youth need. Youth investment. We've been talking about this for a very long time. Can't seem to get the tax dollars of our community from our elected leaders on board to support our youth. When we do not support our youth, the only thing that we're saying is we are creating a school to prison pipeline. When there's nothing for the youth to do, we're just setting them up for failure, and that must stop. Every eligible person in our community needs to be a registered voter. Whether you're a convicted felon or not, in Florida, you can be a registered voter. And not only do you need to be a registered voter, make sure we vote as a block based on the needs and interests of our community and people. Promote more of our youth to attend trade schools and create a business in that trade. And lastly, promote college for those who are interested in becoming doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, etc. College is a debt, and the debt of the degree must be justifiable. This has been a synopsis and an explanation of what I have continued to lay out before us, and I ask as a community that we adopt, which is the new Black Code of Conduct that was designed by Dr. Clark Anderson to implement economic power, political power, self-sufficient, independence, and a better community and a better people. Love, peace, and grace. This has been your host, Sylvester Warren III. Nothing but love.